Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the City of Benton Harbor Commission meeting to order. We'll begin with invocation by Commissioner Henderson, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by our Deputy Public Safety Director, Deputy Clark. All rise.
Lord, we just thank you for the wonderful city of Benton Harbor, for each person that's present on tonight. Lord, as we continue to move our city forward and to make decisions for our city, we just ask that you help us and give us wisdom and guidance. In your name I pray.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Present.
Commissioner Fields, Commissioner Henderson,
Present.
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Present.
Commissioner Kennard, Commissioner Warren, Mayor Pro Tem Turner,
Present.
Mayor Mohammed.
Present.
You have a quorum.
This brings us to the approval of minutes. Is there a motion for the approval for regular minutes, January 5, 2026?
Motion for approval.
Motion is made by Commissioner Isom. It is supported by Mayor Pro Tem Turner. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Fields? Yes. Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry? Yes. Commissioner Isom? Yes. Commissioner Kennard? Yes. Commissioner Clark Griffin?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Turner?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to the approval of accounts payable listing. Is there a motion for the approval?
Motion for approval.
Motion is made by Commissioner Isom. It is supported by Commissioner Henderson. Is there any discussion, questions, comments? Chair recognizes Commissioner Henry.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want my colleagues to see the response that we got for the inquiries on the AP list. And remember that one question always bring on another one, so pay attention to it so we can, as our former Mayor Pro Tem said, watch the money, follow the money. That's the last thing he told us, so I'm totally in agreement. So I want us all to pay attention to the AP list. Thank you.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry? Yes. Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard? Yes. Commissioner Clark Griffin?
Yes.
Commissioner Fields? Yes. Mayor Pro Tem Turner?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to public comments or citizens' comments. There's a 3-minute maximum per speaker. Please sign in with the clerk, and she will call you according to the list.
Jet Newton?
Do I sit down? Or?
Please have a seat.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jet Newton. I'm an independent seeking to represent Benton Harbor in the 38th State House District. I just wanted to take a moment to introduce myself and inform the City Commission that I am seeking to implement a reparations policy that I think will affect the City of Benton Harbor heavily. It is a $500 a month program for 8 years for those who are descended from American chattel slavery. I am available to answer questions, and my info can be found at jetnewton.org for any that are interested in having a discussion about the effects that that program might have if I am elected. Thank you. That is all.
Glenda Wisnat?
Hi, I'm Glenda Westnet, as all you all may know. One of the things I like to talk about is that Benton Harbor has a lot of good things coming this year, 2026. We have Ox Creek, we have, Ox Creek, Oxbow, whatever, and then we have a lot of things that are coming to Benton Harbor. Last year, I don't think was a good year for the city of Benton Harbor, but this year we can move forward. And one of the issues that I see in Benton Harbor is that the inspections, we had an inspection at a house where all the water lines were put in by the state, but they weren't done correctly. We've had 4 inspections, one inspector come out and give us something, we do that, and then there's another one that comes out, then there's another one. It's like we are reinventing the wheel. We don't have the correct departments, we don't have a plumbing department, we don't have electrical, we don't have, we just don't have the departments set up the way building. We have code enforcement, but these are revenue-generated departments. If these departments were set up, the city would be sitting at millions, not hundreds, but millions, just on permits alone from the work that the state has done. And I set up meetings with the city manager, and he calls me for the meetings, but I've never had a meeting. So I would like to have a meeting where we can meet and talk about those things. And I know the city manager wears a lot of hats, but one thing as a city manager, you need to delegate. Even Jesus had 12 disciples, because everything shouldn't be put on one person. And I know a lot of people say when something goes wrong, it's the mayor. It's not the mayor. The mayor does not run the city. Not that I'm giving, he has one vote just like the commissioners. And as I said it before, city manager works for the commissioners and commissioners work for the people. So 2026 going forward, I look forward to us running the city of Ben Harbor like a city and not like a monopoly board. And I'm grateful for the state putting in the water lines. I've even had to call Joey's office about some things with the state. But the money that they spent was spent well, but if they got to come back out, Clemens has done a great job. We had turned the water on, the water just running from the wall. So people are complaining about water bills. Had we not pulled that panel off, we wouldn't know we had a leak. But we'd be complaining to the city because our bill is high. It's not the city's fault because the water is running. So I think when people come in and get contracts and when they do the job, they should do it correctly. And when they pass inspection, make sure the inspection truly passes. Thank you, and I look forward to working with the new commission board this year.
No more comments.
There's no objections. State Representative Joy Andrews was scheduled to speak last week and give us a updated report. There are no objections to him giving that report. You do have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the commission. Beginning of a new year, so we're starting to make the rounds through all the communities in the district, start off the year. Obviously, new year means new budget, so trying to stress to everybody the importance of getting in any funding requests that you might need from the state early. There is a new process in place now that both the Senate and the House have concurred on, so any requests that we want to make as those sort of legislative guided grant requests have to be documented and supported by April 1st now. That's a change from, my first term when we had a little more latitude to get the requests in, kind of whenever. So I want to make sure that everyone's aware of that change. I think it's a good change for what it's worth. It's a better process, and the documentation's important. You gotta stand with your request now. So I'm hopeful that it'll keep some of the maybe more frivolous requests out of the budget that sometimes pop up, but is important because they're not given any latitude on that deadline. So last year there was a couple of requests that offices got in, landed a day after the deadline, no hearings. They don't get their shot at it. So we just really want to make sure that if there's anything y'all need help with, that we got a couple of months to get all that in and get the documentation that we need to support it. We also wanted to give an update on the $645 million in grants that the House Republican Committee, Appropriations Committee unilaterally rescinded at the end of last year because there was a Benton Harbor grant in that pool for the State Street Theater. As of the beginning of the year, the Attorney General issued an opinion that the use of that provision by the Appropriations Committee was unconstitutional, basically defied both the principles of bicameralism by denying the Senate a chance to weigh in, and also separation of powers by not allowing the governor to direct spending that had already been appropriated. The House Speaker has sued to enjoin that and challenge the Attorney General's ruling, and the court on Friday granted a temporary restraining order on the further expenditures of those funds. So there was about a 2-week period where some money started being distributed, and we're trying to check and see if any of our grants were in that kind of 2-week tranche that went out. So expect an update in the next week or two as we kind of sort through that with the state budget office. I think this is probably going to take several months to resolve in court for what it's worth. Whoever loses on the this court level is going to appeal, and I expect this to end up in front of the Supreme Court at some point. I will say we are pretty confident that we're going to prevail in front of the Supreme Court. It's just a matter of how long it takes for us to get to the Supreme Court. So just expect updates from our office as we go, and we learn new things, to try to keep that funding moving for the State Street project. Other than that, I would say we expect kind of a slow year in Lansing this year. I don't know that you get much slower than last year. For those that don't know, we set an all-time record for fewest bills passed last year in the history of the state. And not because there wasn't work to be done, mind you, because there sure was, but because the House Speaker decided to set an arbitrary number of bills that he was happy with passing. And so whether or not more things needed to be done, that's the number that he set. So we're expecting him to try to one-up himself this year and set yet a lower bar. So just sort of putting that out ahead of time because you'll probably see a lot of really promising legislation and hard to say if we're going to be able to get a lot of really good things done when that mindset is prevalent, unfortunately, in the House majority. But I'm hopeful we'll have the budget done on time this year, unlike last year when obviously it was very late. The governor is really on getting the budget done by July this year. It's her last year in office. I think she'd like to go out on a good procedural note if allowed to. So hopeful that we'll have the budget done by July to help with y'all's budgeting process so you know what you're getting from the state. And on that kind of a final note there, in case anybody wasn't up to date, so quarterly in Lansing, we have what we call a consensus revenue estimate conference, where the appropriation chairs from the House and the Senate, and then the governor's budget director, kind of give a estimate update on the state of tax collection and the budget in Michigan. The first estimate of this year was last week, and the estimate is about $1 billion shy of what last year was estimating for 2026. So we're walking into this budget season under the assumption that we're going to have some amount of cuts that have to be made, or at least that there won't be as many grants that are able to go out. Some of that is because of the rearrangement we did with the gas tax and the sales tax. So for the road funding that we passed last year, of which we expect Benton Harbor to get a good increase for the road budget, part of that was that we replaced the sales tax on gas with a gas tax strictly. So all the money you pay in taxes at the pump now goes towards roads. But that means that the money that was coming from the pump for other things had to be replaced in the budget. So there is going to be some rearranging that has to take place. But with the kind of unstable economic conditions that we're in nationally right now, and particularly in Michigan, where we always kind of stand as a bellwether for coming economic turmoil, we're sort of expecting the budget to be tighter this year than it has been the last several years. So also something to keep in mind is, y'all are planning your next couple of years, that we're expecting the budget to tighten on the state level, which is going to necessarily impact what happens downstream. So, we'll keep you updated on that as it goes, but that's sort of the trajectory of things right now as we're headed into this year.
Just very briefly, the Public Safety Fund, I know that there was some alterations to the state shared revenue, and that Public Safety Fund would balance things out. Was that a part of the money that was clawed back, or is that moving forward?
No, so that funding was a separate pool of money. So we expect the public safety money to still be allocated and distributed. I will note that it was set up as a one-time increase. So that one-time increase will have to be renewed in this budget until the legislation that would make it permanent passes. That is still tied up in the Senate, and there's a lot of debate still in the Senate around how to implement that funding and what, if any, changes they want to see happen with it. But until that bill passes, this extra funding has to be renewed every year. But the money that was in that $645 million was all what we call legislative enhancement grants or legislative directed funding. So it's basically the requests that each of us individually make for our districts. So on my end, we had that got tied up in that clawback. We had the money for the theater, the $500,000 for the Berrien Talent Collaborative, which is the college's expansion of their training and apprenticeship program. A city hall redo project down in Bridgman, a senior center up in Casco Township, which I will note they finished building and then suddenly found out the state wasn't going to reimburse them for. So I just feel some ways about that. And then a small business incubator up in South Haven also had a partial clawback hit them. There were a few other grants on our list that would have been hit, but they had already expended their grant funds, and so can't take back what's already spent. But we are expecting some developments on this because there are several projects like that senior center I mentioned or the State Street Theater project here where the dollars have been committed. They just haven't been reimbursed by the state yet. And there's, I think, definitely some gray area right now around what you do about funds that have already been spent in anticipation of being paid back. Because it's really, a pretty fundamental breach, I think, to promise somebody something, watch them spend the money, and then say no. And so I think we're going to see some developments there, but we're going to do what we can to hopefully get those funds released.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
This brings us to our consent calendar. Is there a motion for the approval of the consent calendar?
Motion for approval.
Motion is made by Commissioner Isom. It is supported by Mayor Pro Tem Turner. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Henry?
The motion has been made and it was seconded. I looked down, I didn't see your hand.
My hand was up.
So a motion was made and a second was.
Point of order, Mayor.
Call for the vote, please.
Commissioner Henry?
Madam Clerk and Chair, will you ask the clerk to verify what we're doing now? If we want to take,
A motion was made on the floor by Commissioner Isom. It was supported by Mayor Pro Tem Turner. And the clerk called the roll. You voted yes. And we were interrupted.
My hand was up long before. You can't see it.
uh-uh.
He done-
And he's supposed to ask too. I'm getting tired of y'all letting him get away with stuff. Violating our rights.
Commissioner
Sit
Isom?
right there.
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard?
No, I think we should all be on one page, and I think it's only right to honor her.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
No.
Commissioner Fields?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Turner? Yes. Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Honorable Chair, I would like to rescind mine to a no.
Noted.
This brings us to our staff comment. I'd like to recognize our Deputy Director of Public Safety, Deputy Clark. The Chair recognizes our City Attorney, and congratulations, Madam Attorney. You've served this community faithfully. You came in kind of in a topsy-turvy situation while we had a lot of litigation, but you stepped right in and have done an excellent job. So congratulations. You are recognized.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I would just like to say it's an honor. It's truly an honor to be named as the city attorney for Benton Harbor, and I'm proud tonight to be named as the city attorney, and I thank each one of you for your votes. So thank you.
Chair recognizes the Assistant City Manager and City Clerk, Clerk Moore.
Thank you. I am currently in the process of updating the website. Right now, I'm looking for any location that might be a warming center that we can put out and get out to the public. Also, those that have not responded about the MML training, I will be registering everybody this week. So if you do not get that to me, you will not get registered for CapCon or the other sessions. The other thing, if anybody has any updated headshots that they want to send me, I'll update the website with that as well.
Thank you. Chair recognizes City Manager Little.
I would just like to say to the public that we're doing the best that we can to handle the weather that we're having and the snow removal and so forth. It's not easy with limited resources in terms of staff, equipment, and whatnot, but we are continuing to do it and do it to the very best that we can. With the temperatures we're getting, like these 14s and 18s, salt's not going to do much until it comes up some, but we're still doing all we can with it.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Commissioner Clark Griffin.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming and everybody that's listening. What you witnessed again today was a violation of some of our commissioner right. The mayor saw my hand. He does that when it's something that he thinks we're going to separate and he don't want to discuss and want to get passed without a discussion. And everybody else sit there, including the city attorney, and saw my hands up. And that's a violation again of some of our rights that wanted to discuss it. And that was the reason, number 8. They did not want to discuss it. So once again, pay attention, watch the tape. Hopefully it won't be edited. And you will see that my hand was up and he's seen my hand. He's supposed to look. It's supposed to ask if it's anything separate. And he normally does, but when he want to slip things in, that's what he does. Have a good night.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Commissioner Henry.
Well, I'm thank the citizens for being here and being on YouTube. When you see things like this that happen, you can't make it up. It happened. And I think that we're going to find some way to put a stop to those procedural problems that we have with our parliamentary procedures. Somebody should have some knowledge on parliamentary procedures. Doesn't seem like that we are doing well with it. So I know that we're going to have some classes. I just saw that it was offered to us, so I would suggest old and new commissioners or elected officials need to get a class. So thank you, everyone on YouTube. Please pay attention, because we just got hoodwinked on the agenda again.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Kennard.
I'd like to say thank you all for coming out. It's kind of rough night out there. The streets are really kind of bad, and I don't come out a lot unless I just have to come out, because it's really nasty out. But I thank the Lord we're here to see 2026. And like I heard it spoke that pay attention to your government here. One of the reasons I voted as I did and spoke as I did, many times I had my hand up and I was ignored. And so I didn't question whether she was telling the truth because she has no reason to lie. And then also technology will pick up that whether she had her hand up or not. But that's the reason I agreed, because it's been done to me many times here. And I'd like to say, I'd like for the city manager, because I've talked to a few of the homeless people, I'd like to know where the $15,000 went. I'd like to have documentation as to who received it to house the homeless. And I think it's something that we should keep our eyes on. Was noted last year that they had that money, but I didn't hear exactly where it was any placements for the homeless. So I'd like to see that and documentation as to where these people are. And I'd like to take a visit to see exactly where they are. We are commissioners. Our voters depend upon us to be a voice for them. So I do make it my business to get out and follow through as to what is going on in our city. And thank you all, and continue to come out. I'm glad to see Representative Joey out tonight. We heard your name called quite a few times. I was glad to see you showed up tonight. Thank you.
19 cities and townships. I do my best.
Okay.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Warren.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Thank you to everyone who has come out on this very cold night. I know we live in Michigan, but oh my God, the weather has been brutal. I said this a couple of times before, but if there is anyone out there who is in need of warm clothes, you guys can reach out to me, and I have some items that I can give you. All new items that I happen to have that are winter clothes. So if you know someone, please reach out to me and I can help you out. We don't have much going on right now in the second ward. The next thing we'll probably do is early spring, we'll do a second ward cleanup. So I'll keep everyone posted on that. And that is all I have. Everyone have a wonderful evening and stay warm.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Commissioner Fields.
Good evening. Like everyone else has said, thank you for coming out. It is cold. We thought it would possibly be canceled today. And I want to thank those that are watching online as well. A couple things that I wanted to actually speak on is, first of all, the Wellness Hub and Resource Center, which is in the second ward, has hours of Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. The weekends vary based upon volunteers. And just for point of reference, it is the Nile Street entrance, not the front door off of Pipestone. And if anybody is looking to support or engage, I stress the need for basic hygiene items, undergarments, any non-perishable and things of that nature. I have been literally full the last several days, which brings about my second point that I want to talk about, which is the Salvation Army. I'm not clear on the hours because they're listed as a warming center. However, their men leave at 9 in the morning and cannot return until 5. I would like some support from city officials, being they have had conversations with the Salvation Army in regards to collaborating with different community resources. And because I know, like, for example, they have a van, but the guys get to the hub in different places however they can. And just noting the need of resources, again, connecting and uniting. I want to stress the importance of different committee meetings. The commission meetings are twice a month. However, we have additional meetings throughout. Do I need to hold this? Throughout the month, right? So on this Wednesday, as in tomorrow, will be personnel and finance. So if you have questions, if you want to ask about the financial director, resumes, things like that, I want to empower the community to come out and speak and ask questions at that time. It won't be the process so official how it is today, where with the full commission you have to sign in and state your name and give some blood. Joking, but not joking, and things of that nature. It seems really stiff. The committees are opportunities for more relaxed conversation and exchanges for that matter, which is what I love most. And so, again, personnel and finance, which talks about the financial director, the monies, and things of that nature, is tomorrow at 5:30. And then on Monday, which is the fourth Monday, will be communications. I want everyone to come out and say what you want, say what you don't like. I have tough skin, and if we don't repair the relationship that we have at some point compromise, then we won't have citizens or residents that feel involved. So I want you guys to come out, to be involved, to use your voice. And I, too, would like to know what exactly is the plan for the homeless funds. Maybe, Mayor, you can add me to the ad hoc committee, being that you're one down. I would appreciate that. And just to know what the plan is with the money, not that something bad has happened with it, but what is the plan with it, especially being that I could utilize it at the hub, if that is part of the process for that. You say something to me, Ms. Commissioner? Okay. And I'm trying to use all my time, too, by the way, because people are not used to me having a short amount of words used. But no, again, thank you guys for coming out. Please come to different committee meetings. We have openings on basically all of them.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Commissioner Isom.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I'd like to congratulate all the reappointments to the Brownfield Authority, Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, Emma Hull, reappointment to the Board of Review, Ricky Hill, reappointment to the Board of Review, Eddie Marshall, and appointment to the Planning Commission, Brianna Hayes. And congratulations to Attorney Seneca. Welcome aboard. Moving the city forward and expecting great things. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I'd like to thank all the residents, as everyone has said, for coming out tonight and for hearing and seeing what is happening in the city of Benton Harbor, as Commissioner Isom just talked about, and Commissioner Fields talked about. We have a lot of committees, and people are appointed at my committees, which is the legislative committee meeting. So all of these appointees came out of that committee, and as you know, people don't get paid to serve, and so I just like to thank all of those people who decided to sign up to serve in the city of Benton Harbor. It's appreciated, and hopefully you'll be able to explain to people what it is that happens on those committees and what happens and how things happen in the city of Benton Harbor, because it's not just us. If you're serving, you get an opportunity to share with other residents, to give them some of the excitement that you have about serving. So thank you, Ms. Hayes, for serving as well. And as many have said, we are the commission, but you are the community. And as we continue to work together to move our city forward, it's not just us, it's you as well. Commissioner Fields talked about people coming and saying what you don't like, but come with solutions. It's one thing to say what you don't like, but please bring some solutions, because you may see or think of things that we may not have. And so don't just bring your complaints, please bring your ideas as well. So we like to keep the city moving forward. We just thank you for being a part of that, and have a great evening.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem Turner.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank everybody coming out. First, I want to thank the city manager for helping me improve public works. So far, they've been out all day plowing, turning with the trucks, getting the snow out, and they've been doing a good job. So I appreciate you for taking my suggestion on that one. Second, I want to say thank you to the attorney for handling this issue here, because I think this needs to be resolved, because I'm tired of emails. So I want to thank you for resolving this issue here. Last, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Please make sure you know that your concerns are heard. And I want to say congratulations to Benton Harbor 2026 Mr. and Mrs. Queen and Mr. King on their job done. I can relate to mental health as a suicide survivor for over 10 years. So big congratulations to them young men and young women for being brave to stand and say, hey, it's time to talk. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. I also echo the sentiments of the City Council, thanking everyone for coming out, all of the appointee persons who will join the city of Benton Harbor. The city commission is one arm of the government, but our committees are very intricate in the decision-making, in the public input, in stimulating great discussion, in order to provide transparency to residents, as well as to receive input from staff in order to make the government work. Last January 15th, I was invited to Governor Whitmer's address in Detroit for the auto show, which was her last address on the future of Michigan. And one of the things that I took away was that, you know, she's not putting up a sign saying, be back in 6 months. She's working to the buzzer. Right now, she's at the Global Summit in Switzerland and trying to find ways to bring manufacturing and continue to make the state of Michigan the great manufacturing center, as well as keeping our auto as number one and competitive in the world. One of the things that I was notified that affordable housing is going to be a major part of her last leg, her last lap. So I want to encourage her to dust off and get out your master plan. Benton Harbor, our future. So study it, because now it's time for it to be executed and implemented. And, you know, if people want to know what is Benton Harbor doing, you know, what is the government, it's right here. As it relates to housing, as it relates to public safety, as it relates to economic development, it's all in the master plan. And the most important part about it is you have a part to play in it. Commissioner Henderson stated, we are the commission, but you are the community. And the community must play a critical role in how Benton Harbor will be shaped, not just in the present, but for the next 20, 30 years. Thank you again. I do want to give a special shout out to our public safety department. One of the things that we were informed, our crime has decreased. I believe it was 24% decrease. And, you know, we don't have a force of 60, 70, 80 police officers, but the Marines, I think they're looking for a few good men. But I know we have more than a few. We have a cadre of officers led by Deputy Clark, as well as our Chief McGinnis and our city manager. So keep up the great work. Once again, congratulations, City Attorney Seneca, and have a great evening. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion is made by Commissioner Fields. It is supported by Commissioner Henderson. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
Yes.
Commissioner Fields?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry? Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard? Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Turner?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.